The new Brightline train is probably one of the most influential innovations in South Florida public transit in the past 10 years. It goes over 100 miles an hour. It connects Orlando to Miami. It's luxurious. There are stops at West Palm, Boca, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. It sounds amazing, right? So if it's so good, why is it losing $100 million a year? My name's Luke. I'm going to tell you why Brightline is not the high-speed rail that Florida really wants. So in the first quarter of 2024, the company reported a $116 million financial loss. Why is that? If it's the first of its kind in Florida, it's connecting everywhere, it seems like it's doing all the right things, why is it losing so much money? So I'm gonna tell you why, with a personal story. I live in Boca Raton. To fly out of South Florida, you're either gonna go to West Palm, which is a very small airport, or you're gonna go to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Most people in my position go to Fort Lauderdale. Everybody knows that parking at the airport is incredibly expensive, so obviously I would like to take the train. The train doesn't go to the airport. So essentially you have to take an Uber to the train, to an Uber to the airport. At the same time, it costs just as much to get an Uber. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, that's the reason why it's not working. So long story short, I love the Brightline. I've taken the Brightline to Miami Heat games. You can drink on the Brightline. It has unlimited cocktails on the premium pass. It's really, really fun. It's a great time. While I am a big urbanist and a big proponent of high-speed rail, they're just not doing it right. First of all, speed limitations. When I was in Italy, I was going on a high-speed rail that was literally going over 180 miles an hour. It was absolutely insane. The Brightline only goes up to 125 miles an hour, which is still fast, but it's not as fast as you want to go. And in this case, travel times equal the same amount as if you were to just take a car. Also, the station locations. There is only one Brightline station that is located at the airport, and that's in Orlando, which is notoriously unwalkable. So you're not gonna get a lot of pedestrians at the station in the first place. And then in the places that they aren't at airports, like in Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, they're too far out west and they're not easily accessible except if you're getting a car ride there, which I feel like defeats the purpose of trains in the first place. Next is economic viability. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not paying $60 to go on a train when I could pay $55 to get my own private ride. And that's what upsets me. It's because trains were meant to be a reliable substitution for cars, but then it just ends up being not a substitution at all. Next is safety concerns. I grew up in Delray Beach and there's been so many different fatalities and crashes with the Brightline speeding through downtown Delray. And it's crazy because everyone in the city now knows that the Brightline is like the notorious killer of the trains around here. So I don't know if that's a Brightline thing or just like a people in Florida thing, but yeah, I thought I should just mention that. There's like this really funny Instagram account that just posts every single time that it hits someone in Florida. It's not funny, but it's like satire. Next is the environmental impact. These trains aren't even electric. I feel like the goal of trains in the first place is to get towards more of a sustainable transportation system as opposed to just doing a parallel and not really doing anything more beneficial and just trying to make it seem like you're doing something. Additionally, the Brightline has taken a lot from public funds, even though that it's a private venture, which makes sense because, you know, it's like an infrastructure thing, but if it's taking public funds, make it cheaper. Make it so that it's an actual viable option, as opposed to just some fugazi high-speed rail that the guy from Virgin Airlines to make a quick buck on. So in conclusion, I do think that this is a step forward in high-speed rail progress for the United States. However, I feel like it's not being done in the most efficient way, and I feel like it's almost hindered the growth of high-speed rail, just given that a lot of people are seeing how it's not really doing so great. So like I said, it's a step in the right direction, but it doesn't really quite meet the criteria of real high-speed rail and what it really should be. And I'm afraid that Americans are gonna look at this and be like, oh yeah, high-speed rail sucks. And I'm telling you, it really doesn't. If you have anything to say about the Brightline, I'm kind of curious to hear. If you want to drop in the comments, that'd be kind of cool. I'll definitely hit you back. But I just wanted to make a short video just because this was on my mind and I just wanted to get it out. Also, I just want to add this in there. Overall, for the year of 2024, Brightline reported a comprehensive loss of $493 million. This was despite a 44% increase in ridership and 211% increase in revenue. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, like, subscribe, share, do what you gotta do, please.